Okay, maybe I'll knock out a little Vikings-Seahawks preview video here. I expect the Vikings to lose. You know, usually I think they at least have a pretty, I almost every game I think they have at least some shot. But this one is in recent memory way down the list of ones that I think they have any shot. I think I give them maybe a 10% chance. Because I just don't think they can stop Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson is the MVP of the league right now. Um, you know, Defense is going to be probably about as healthy as it's been this year because Kendricks didn't practice a couple days this week. Looked like he might miss the game, but he's going to play. Looks like Mike Hughes is going to be back. Um, no Hunter. I mean, that's not even a thing. He's not going to play this year. I guarantee it. But at least some guys who have been hurt are back. Looks like maybe one of the cornerbacks might miss, but they're going to be fairly healthy, and they have improved a little bit. But man, Russell Wilson is so good. like, it seems unthinkable that they're going to hold him down to like under 40 points. And I think the Vikings will score a lot of points themselves because Seattle's defense kind of stinks. And just last year, the Vikings put up I think 30 points in Seattle. So I think they'll score. I think this is going to be like some sort of like 45 to 35 type of game. I think it's going to, so I guess in that sense, I think it's going to be close. But, basically what I want to see from the Vikings tomorrow night, and this goes to Kubiak, his game plan has to, he can't do the thing that you do where it's like, oh, we're going to have the game plan, we're going to control the ball so we keep Russell Wilson off the field. No, that's not going to work. No, don't do it. Because he's going to score on you every time probably. But you got to match him. That's your best chance. It's just match him score for score, which means go for broke. Like, I'm always of the opinion that when you're the underdog, or a big underdog, I don't know what the point spread is, but they're a big underdog. Just go for it. What do you got to lose? No one expects the Vikings to win. I don't expect the Vikings to win. Go for it. Do something crazy. I, air this thing out. Like, I know they want to use Dalvin Cook a lot, and they should, but this needs to be a game where they're just bombing the fucking shit out of the ball. Like, just I want like a 200-yard game from Jefferson, or like a 400-yard game from Kirk Cousins, like something like that. I just want something crazy. Just go for it, because no one expects you to win. You're still kind of buried for the season. You got nothing to lose. And what if you do pull off an upset? I mean, if they somehow were to pull off an upset, their whole season opens back up. Because if you can pull out of this opening 2-3, you got Atlanta next week. That's certainly not a guarantee. Nothing's guaranteed. Nothing is going to be a guarantee with the Vikings this year. But home against Atlanta, we might be able to knock another coach out of his job. If by some miracle they pull off the upset tomorrow night, you got a really good chance to be 3-3, and then you're right back in it. You're right back in contention for wild card, not for the division. You're not going to catch the Packers and Bears, but maybe you got a shot at maybe one of those last couple wild cards. But I really hope they just go for it, man. Just air this thing out. Whatever. I don't know if Kubiak's even got it in him. I don't know if Zimmer's got it in him to really, have that sort of game plan. There have been a couple games in the Cousins era so far where they really, gone for the jugular on offense, like that Eagle game last year. They were throwing a lot of deep balls. I think they got to do stuff like that, because I really don't think there's any point in being like, oh, we want to be very conservative because we want to We want to control the ball. We want to keep Russell Wilson off the field because it's just not going to work because he's just going to go out. He's going to light you up. He just is. And that's not even a knock on Zimmer and how he's doing with the defense because I think he's done a pretty good job of kind of, you know, getting these guys to really play and getting them to improve even just in the 4 games so far. But this is a whole other deal. Like, you know, you can do stuff against a Ryan Tannehill or even a Deshaun Watson that you can't do against Russell Wilson because he's just going to fucking kill you. And he's going to kill the Vikings tomorrow. And that's just the way it is. Doesn't mean you have to just give up. I just think they have to approach the game differently than they would most games. Like, you know, next week you're facing Matt Ryan. You don't have to necessarily do it that way. But when you're facing a Russell Wilson, who, in my opinion, is the MVP of the league so far, you gotta just try something. Like you can't just kind of sit on it and try to play the ground game and ball control. And I know they've had issues with time of possession in a couple games this year, but you gotta go for it, man. You gotta go for it in a big way. And there have been games in the Cousins era, and I mean, you know, all throughout history, really, where you get in these kind of situations, and their game plan. This was kind of more in the DeFilippo debacle. That one of the games was Seattle, where it's like their game plan was designed to lose. Like, we don't think we're going to win, so we're not even going to try. I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow. I hope it's not going to happen tomorrow. You know, like I said, I don't have a lot of expectations for this game. I think they're going to lose, but I want them to go for it. I want them to go out in this game tomorrow, you know, firing all your bullets. And if that means, you know, just going crazy in the passing game, then do it. Like, and hell, if you throw some picks, whatever. I mean, you got to try something because, you know, you're not going to win this game 24-20 or something like that. It's just not going to happen. And you might not win the game 42-41 either, but I think you got a better shot at doing that. So it's going to be interesting because I think this will be one of these really, really high-scoring games. I think the Vikings will probably lose, but they're going to lose because their defense is going to get lit up. And then people are going to, of course, only thing they're going to talk about after the game, Kirk Cousins on primetime, his win-loss record. That's, you know damn well that's the only thing they're going to talk about if the Vikings lose tomorrow night. No matter how he plays, no matter how the offense plays, no matter what the final score is, the only thing that's going to get talked about is his win-loss record. Oh, I gotta love that media. So, you know, I hope they pull off the upset. This would, you know, if they did win this would be probably one of their biggest regular season upsets in a long time. I can't even think of what the last one that would have been this big would have been. But you know, we haven't won in Seattle since 2006. That was like the last game that year before year one of Childress kind of imploded, where they were 4-2, I think, after beating Seattle, and everyone was like, "Oh, we got this new coach, and he's got this team really going in a good way." And then they finished 2-8 or something, finished 6-10, but they did get Adrian Peterson next year, so that was okay. So Skull, let's get it done if we can, and if we can't, you know, whatever, we can win next week. Keep it going.